Here I am joined by Jerome. So Young Lights.
Hello guys, welcome to the eSport event today and welcome to the stream.
My name is SHR Spindigo, and I'll be taking you through this final two races with you, because there's two races, 25%, and the other one I can't remember exactly which one it is. So two 25% races making up for 50%. Esports battle between IGK, CPI, FRL, QVR and FRL. So there's your esports teams that are battling today, and I'll give you the championship standings as well, so you all know who's in front. I presume it'll be IGK that's in front. We've got different IGK drivers because we keep having different drivers in at different weeks. So I believe IGK Wenting is a new driver that's here. IGK Lewis was here last week, I believe, but he didn't have a particularly good race last week. So let's hope he can do better next time out. Bruno's a new one, and he's I don't know which esports team he is, so there, we'll find out. Alright then, so first place is IGK, is 295 points ahead of QVR. They've got 223 points. They're a long away from IGK. TTG is another esports team as well. They've got 196 points to their name, quite a far away from QVR as well. FRL is in fourth place, and CPI is in fifth place with 48 points. So CPI just needs to try and get as many points as they can, because they can't take second or third. I think fourth is too far away from scoring points to second and third. And Bullet Boy, Connor and Jumperlinen are CPI drivers, so Bullet Boy is here as well, Jumperlinen's here, and who's the other one? Connor's here as well. So I just need to remember who is in which car. CPI, I think Carlsberg is in QVR. If not, I can't remember what team esports is in, but anyways, I'll figure it out later. Just need to check the lineup because I get confused quite a lot. And yeah, last week's race winner, I can't exactly remember. It was an IGK driver, but I can't remember exactly who. I think it was one of the Italian drivers. I don't think none of them are here today. So yeah, only one of them's here, which is Ayamotti, and he wasn't here last week either. So we've got new IGK drivers here. Quite a lot of drivers in IGK. I didn't even realise that, but they're quite a good team. And yeah, I'll put the stream in the chat, and we're going to go away soon. The first two races were quite amazing, the Netherlands Grand Prix and the Dutch Grand Prix. Those two amazing. Yeah, Carlsberg is TTG. I meant to say the Dutch Grand Prix and the Chinese Grand Prix, the first two races quite amazing. We had a full grid, then it slowly gradually we started to lose drivers. So hopefully we'll get more drivers in. In fact, this is the last time we'll do this race, this esports race. So yeah, hopefully the last race will be good. Bahrain tends to put quite a show on, but this new ERS system, I don't have a clue, because I know some drivers will be struggling to save ERS down that back straight, or they'll be harvesting energy, so they won't go for the move early on in the race unless they abuse their ERS, like quite a few drivers do. So the last race is Bahrain, and the other one I can't exactly remember. In fact, I don't even know what the last race is. So let's hope it's a good track to finish the esports off. So it looks like IGK are most likely to win this esports event. IGK quite a long way ahead, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 points, 68 points ahead of QVR in second place. TTG third place, and they're 10, 20, 24, 25, 26, 27 points away from QVR in second place. FRL are fourth place. They are 18 points away from TTG, and CPI 48 points, a long way from everybody. So I don't think they have a chance to catch up on that one, I'm afraid. But I know Bullet Boy is a decent driver. Hopefully he can score quite a few points tonight. And Young Lights, you've seen the driver lineup. What are you thinking tonight? What's your prediction?
I mean, it's looking strong from all teams, IGK, QVR, all of them. Looks like not a lot of drivers here today, but I've raced with some of these drivers on grid. I know that Bullet Boy is strong, Chapelele, Jordi, Jumperlinen, Ginger, they're all strong, so it's just going to be exciting to see their pace around Bahrain today.
One shot qualifying, so only one chance for all these drivers. If they mess it up, they're most likely start at the back, or if they validate, they'll get disqualified from the session and they start at the back. So one shot qualifying is very important tonight. and they cannot get anything wrong. Minimum mistakes and maximum pace is what is needed in this one shot.
It's definitely going to be exciting. Also, they can choose whether to start on softs or mediums, and this could really determine how much points you get in the race. Also, with track position as well, it could be hard to get through the grid.
I've noticed quite a few drivers were starting on the soft compound tyres, so they scrapped the mediums, I think, because it's a 25% race. They're not going to go that extra long because there's no point. Because, yeah, you won't have much chance to overtake in the end. Anyways, we're on, I don't know who we're on board with here. I'll get the data up and the graphics up. We're on board with Sway then, as he heads down into turn 1. We'll go on board with somebody else later on the lap as he heads down into turn 1, then locks up slightly into turn 1, short shifted to get a better entry. Turn 1, turn 2 and turn 3 are quite difficult in terms of exiting and traction as well. Heading down into turn 4, bring the car to the left hand side to get a decent exit out of turn 4. On the power he goes, then traction is another one. As a 27.8 for Sway, but we're going to go on board with the guys at the front because that's the quickest times are being done, and that is Cookie Games as well. So he's gone deep into turn 8, has Sway, unfortunately, so that'll compromise him just a bit. As I'm going to go on board with Cookie Games if I can get on board with him. There we go then. As you can see, long away from the corner there, we were just on board with Sway, who was just exiting the corner, but Cookie Games is a long way ahead then as we head down into turn 11 then. Turn 12, I'm going to get as close as this curve as possible but not touching it because it will ruin your lap. Bring the car to the left hand side. Slightly missing the apex there is Cookie Games. Gets a decent exit coming out of turn 13. Coming down into turn 14 then for Cookie Games. That's his car number as he locks up slightly. Gets on the power, and I think he might take pole position, which he might do. So he comes across the line and it's a 25.0. That's a decent lap time considering he only had 1 lap pace.
Definitely is a definitely strong lap time from Cookie Games, being 3 tenths in front of the guy that's starting with him on the same row, CPI Bullet Boy, who's the fastest out of the CPI drivers. 2.2 tenths. Chapelele and Ginger, they're locking out the second row for the FRR team, so it is going to be looking strong for them drivers, but it's looking very close between the top 10, so it's definitely going to be exciting to see what they can do.
And the 3 people got disqualified. They are Iamotti, Geordie and Jay Lewis, so they've got plenty of work to do in this race. They could start the medium tyres of course, but if they want to or not, because the majority of them will start on the sauce. The top 10 will obviously start on the sauce because that's what they set their fastest time on. So it looks like a decent performance from Cookie Games. Then 2 tenths clear of CPI Bullet Boy. Bullet Boy having a much better qualifying than he did 2 weeks ago, or 2 races ago shall I say, with the Britain. I think he started out at 5th or 6th, but much better this time round for CPI Bullet Boy. He'll be happy for that one, and I really hope he doesn't lag out because he's retired in the Netherlands Grand Prix and the Chinese Grand Prix. In Britain and China, I think he lagged out. He definitely lagged out, and that's what's cost him a lot of points and CPI points as well. So he needs a good result tonight to get CPI back up on the leaderboard and back up the order as well. So John Palainen, Bullet Boy, and who was the other one? Connor, are the CPI drivers here tonight. So there's 3 of them here, and let's see what the race could do for us tonight then. So Sky, what's your predictions for tonight's race then?
I mean, after looking at 1 lap pace, you know, some people looking strong, some people not as strong, so I can't really predict anything from here, but Cookie and Bullet Boy do look strong. I think it'll be a great fight between Carlsberry, Ginger and Chapelele. Maybe Bruno could get his nose in there too. I think it's going to be a very close battle with the top 10, so we're just going to have to find out and see what these drivers are capable of. Here we're doing 40 laps around Bahrain street circuit.
So there's the predicted pit stop strategy then from laps 6 to 9. You start pit on the mediums or hards then. So interestingly, 1, 2, 3, 4 drivers in the top 10 for QVR, so that's a decent sign for them. Sneaky down in 9th place. I think that's all the QVR drivers in there. I don't think there's any more outside the top 10. Nope. So all QVR drivers, which is a good sign, in the top 10. They definitely need to score some good points tonight if they can get a good chance of scoring and getting ahead of QVR. That didn't make sense. I meant CPI, sorry. And with one of their drivers on pole, by the way, CPI Bullet Boy, sorry, is in second place. His teammate's down in 7th place, and the other one, which is Sway, is it? I can't remember exactly which one it was. Was it Bruno or Sway? Bullet Boy. Do you know what? I need to go check because I don't want to guess. I think it's Connor. No, he's in CPI. It's not. Yes, it is Connor. I'm a bit confused. Right, let's go back to the thing. It's John Palanen. John Palanen is CPI.
Some drivers starting on the mediums, John Palanen, Ayamotti, Jordi and Lewis. So these guys are going to be working from the back. Maybe not as much pace at the start, but on the second part of this race, maybe they can pick up the pace and start attacking at the front of the field. Bullet
Boy has the inside line into turn 1. Can he get a decent start and try and effectively get ahead of Cookie Games and try and take first place off him? We know that second place tends to get a decent start and goes down the inside. Not back in 2016, Hamilton had a horrible start, got hit by Bottas on that occasion, 2016. Vettel went down the inside of Leclerc in 2019, last year's Bahrain Grand Prix, so second place is a good place to start. Try and push him out wide into turn 1 and get a clear run into turn 3 and turn 4 then. So they're all lining up on the grid. We've got Lewis as the last one to line up, and yeah, we're away for the last and final race of the esports team. Alright then, so there are the lights. Need to get a decent camera angle. Lights out, away we go then. So who gets a decent start off the line? Will it be Bullet Boy? Will it be Cookie? I think it's Bullet Boy. You can quite see Bullet Boy's got a decent start off the line. He's headed down into turn 1. He's got ahead of Cookie Game. Chapelet is trying to hold it around the outside. We'll have the inside line for the next corner. Best Bullet Boy's too far away, and he's got himself up into first place. But Chapelet is trying to squeeze. Cookie Games is squeeze Chapelet out because he tried to go down the inside of him. As we head down into turn 4, then Chapelet tries to go down. He went down the inside of Cookie Games. Cookie Games tried it down the inside of Bullet Boy, but I think he shoved him a bit. I think he was too far back to make a move. I think Chapelet was trying to make a move on Cookie Games. Thankfully, I don't think he got any full wind damage. He might escape through that one. As they all sort themselves out, there was going down in the midfield. Lewis making a move on Jumper Lanning and Jordi. He's trying to make a move on Jumper Lanning and Jordi. They go side by side, heading out the corner there as we head down into the double left-hander of turn 10.
Yeah, it's been a real good start to the race. CPI Bullet Boy getting a good start leading into turn 1, and Cookie King's coming out from nowhere using most of his ERS there. Chapelet also looking to start there, jumping his teammate Ginger, and also Carlsberry as well, as these guys now leading coming into the end of sector 2 as well.
So look at the Cookie Games all over the back of CPI Bullet Boy, but bad exit from Cookie Games there, slightly compromised but not too far away, as Lewis has overtaken Sway for 30th place. That's 3 places Lewis has made on the first lap, so good start from Lewis already. He's up 3 places and he's ahead of the soft runner as well, so that's not good news if you Sway. As we head on to lap 2 then, as you can see, Cookie Games is too far back to make a move into turn 1. Is anyone close enough to make a move as we head down into turn 1? I don't think they are. Jordi tries it on Lewis. Lewis up into 13th place. Yes, he is. What's happened to Sway then? He's down in 15th place. He's on the soft compound tyres. You expect him to be much quicker than the medium runners, but not on this occasion. Looks like he's struggling. His jumper line and goes down the inside of Sway. They go side by side, heading out of turn 4. Sway gets a penalty and jumper line is ahead. So Sway having a difficult first half of the race then, probably not getting into a rhythm there, but he needs to get himself into his rhythm as quick as possible, otherwise he's going to keep falling down. He's already down in last place, so that's not good news for him. Don't know what team he's in, but anyways, CPI Bullet Boy maintaining his lead by 4/10. He's got more ERS compared to Cookie Games. Expect that to be the other way around, considering CPI is trying to pull away from Cookie Games.
QVR drivers getting off to a good start. We see Backies and QVR Sneaky. These guys are slowly catching up to FRL Luke here. Luke's going to have to be doing some defending. He also has the QVR driver Bruno ahead of him here. So he is in the QVR. So see if these QVR drivers can team up together in a party and try and get this overtake done and move up in some high positions.
Locking up heavily in the final corner was Cookie Games then, as DRS is now activated on this lap and not down the main straight because it was the before detection point, as Connor sets the fastest lap of the race. And we've got Chapelet in the pits already trying to do the undercut. I think they did put early in China, and it's a 25% race anyway, so they don't want to last long on the soft compound tyres. Is there anyone close enough to make a move? down into turn 1. Not close enough as anybody. As Chapelele rejoins down in last, obviously, on the brand new set of medium tyres, trying to do the undercut, and he got out of the dirty air because the dirty air was probably holding him up, as quite a train behind CPI Bullet Boy.
Yep, we're going to definitely be waiting a couple of laps until we see the soft runners go into the pits. So Chapelele does have a couple of laps to get his tyres back up into the temperature that it should be and start closing down some time towards his front runners here. But Cookie is still within the DRS range, same with Carsberry, Ginger, Connor, Luke. It's a massive train all the way down to P12 here. So these guys are all battling for point positions here. Cookie Games, he's really trying to find the pace on Bullet Boy here, but it looks like Bullet Boy is just keeping the straight line speed that he needs.
Exactly, Bullet Boy's doing an amazing job despite the pressure that's been on him from second and third then. So let's see what Chapelele can do down in 60th place there. Can he try and do the undercut on all three of them, or all of them shall I say, because they're all in dirty air and stuck behind Bullet Boy. But it looks like Cookie Games getting closer and closer to Bullet Boy. It's a matter of time to see when he will overtake him, or will he come to the pits, because they know Chapelele. Yes, he does. Cookie Games is in the pits then, covering the undercut from Chapelele, as Carlsberry sets the fastest lap of the race then.
Well, this is given a chance to see where Cookie Games can come out, because Chapelele has been given a chance to spread his wings as he's been given. A lot of clean air. Ginger has also put his car into the pits as well. So we see Chapelele who's coming across the start finish straight. Is he going to jump Ginger? I mean, is he going to jump Cookie? Because it's going to be real close here. Cookie's now just leaving the pit lane. Chapelele has got past him, and he's got quite a gap here. Chapelele is about 1.7 seconds, so Bullet Boy really needs to press on the gas now. He's going to have to find some pace to try and get in front of Chapelele, because Chapelele's undercut definitely looks like it's working.
Smart move from Chapelele. He's got himself a good gap and out of DRS range. That means Bullet Boy will have to come to the pits this lap. As look at Sneaky, almost hits the back. Massive lockup from him and the other guys. They're suffering quite big lockups there, aren't they, those drivers down at turn 10. I know it's difficult down there, heading down into turn 11, so smart move from Chapelele. So Bullet Boy, I think, will have to come to the pits to protect the undercut from Cookie and Chapelele. If he doesn't, if he stays out there, he'll lose way more time than he would have won, and he rejoined possibly behind Ginger as well, because Ginger pitted with Cookie Games. Let's see if he does come to the pits at the end of this lap. If he doesn't, and look at his ERS. Yes, he does come to the pits on lap 4 then. Will anybody else? Bruno follows him.
You know what's such a disappointment? When using multiplayer cards, you could be ending up double stacking with a driver that you don't even know that's your teammate due to having multiplayer cards, which is a big disadvantage here. But Bullet Boy in front of all of the pack, so he doesn't have that disadvantage, but he might have a disadvantage as Chapelele and Cookie coming across the start finish straight, and Bullet Boy is definitely looking to get jumped by Chapelele as he has been jumped, and Cookie's also going to get him too, but it's going to be close. Cookie's got him. Oh no, he hasn't.
No. Bullet Boy's just rejoined ahead of Cookie Games. I dare say one more lap he would have overtaken him, so that's good news for Bullet Boy, but bad news for him as well. Chapelele's in front of him, so Chapelele is the net. Oh, down the inside goes Cookie, sends it from a long way back, but Bullet Boy will do the switch back and the undercut, and he's got him. Optimistic move from Cookie Games there, trying to send it, hits the back of him as well, so looks like Cookie's getting impatient there behind Bullet Boy.
Yeah, a lot of lockups here from Cookie Games here. He really wants to get this overtake done and maybe try to chase down Chapelele, who's looking to score some very big points here today, but Bullet Boy is just keeping his calm, and he's going to be trying to push on from this.
I wonder how 1.8 second gap, we saw that 1.8 second gap with Cookie Games. So Chapelele's got decent pace here. I think he was just stuck in that train. He couldn't show his pace because he was stuck in the train, as the other drivers then pit, as Connor stays out there. CPI Connor has stayed out there then, so he can't stay out there for long. Motti, the highest medium runner, is in second place. Let's see how long he can go on those mediums and when he will change over to the soft compound tyres. Jordy up into third place as well. Carsberry's in the pits along with Baki, Wenting and Lewis. Chapelele will rejoin ahead of all of them. I think all of them. Yes, he will. What about Bullet Boy? Look at that coming out of the pits. Who's that? That's Carsberry. How's Carsberry got ahead of Bullet Boy? He's side by side into turn 1, now into turn 2. Bullet Boy has... Oh, Carsberry didn't see him into turn 2. Probably surprised to see him there.
Cookie Games. Oh no, wait. A driver spun in it, Cookie Games. He's hit off the back of one of the FRL cars there. So that's very unlucky, and I do believe it's Ginger. But it was shaping up to be a very interesting battle here. Everybody being so close within just a couple of tenths of each other. So the DRS train is definitely looking to get in hand, but possibly being behind the drivers, it may be able to make you spin out just like Cookie Games did. He got tangled up with a driver, and now he's at the back of the pack here, so he's definitely going to have to work his way through there.
Well, Jumper Lana's got a 5-second time penalty for ignoring yellow flags, but I didn't see any yellow flags out there, so wonder why he got that penalty. But what happened to Sway? He's all the way down. Oh, he's lost his foot wig. Sway's lost his foot wig.
That's unlucky for Sway there, so he's going to have to try to come back stronger.
He's just came out of the pits as well, so I wonder if he hit somebody down to turn 1. Connor's finally in the pits along with Iamotti.
Carsberry, he's definitely looking like an underdog, him, as he wasn't really showing much pace on the sauce, but he definitely made the massive overcar, and he's in front of Bullet Boy and could be closing down to Chapelele. It's a 1.5 second gap or 4 as we currently speak, as Iamotti comes into the pits for his soft stint, and Connor for his medium stint here. Maybe Connor can have a go at closing the gap to Bullet Boy, maybe having a go at him going into turn 1 as we see Connor out of the pits, and he may even pass Carsberry here as he does, he dives on the inside, and he's got past Carsberry, and he's also got past Bullet Boy here, so Bullet Boy has been jumped by 2 drivers, but it's not going to end here as these 2 drivers have DRS, and Carsberry is just going to sweep past him, but I'm sure Bullet Boy and Connor are definitely going to be trying to interact as these both CPI, and Bullet Boy and Connor almost going side by side. Connor's just going to have to back off, and he's also going to let Ginger go as they go into the corner.
I don't think he backed off. I think he lost traction coming out of turn 4, and it's cost him a lot. It's cost him a place to Bullet Boy and Ginger as well. So Carsberry really did him there. He's lost 3 places from where he was coming out of the pits. So that's really a shame, but it's his lap 7. Got plenty of laps to go. I did see him lose the back end twice coming out of turn 4, sorry.
So Geordie, he's basically the sole man here. He's the only person who hasn't pitted yet, and I'm sure he's going to be pitting at the end of this lap. But apart from that, Chapelele leads the Grand Prix by almost 2 seconds here. And then you have the rest of the grid battling for P2, you could say. And then you got Cookie Games and John Polainen, who really need to catch up to have a go at battling for some decent points as well, as Geordie's into the pits.
Geordie in the pits, then switching over from the mediums to soft compound tyres. So Chapelele will take over the race, the lead of the race then. It's had a decent afternoon to Chapelele. Had bad luck in the past few races, but finally he's getting the luck he deserves, and on course to win this race. Can keep this pace up. Carsberry got some decent pace with him. I didn't expect him to.
And look at CP Connor down the inside of Ginger into turn 1. Ginger's going to keep it around the outside and take down the inside and keep the move on the corner, but they both have DRS here, but it looks like the ERS is on Connor's side here as he's going to try to sweep around the outside, but Ginger just seems to have the pace in the FRL car, and he's going to keep that move, but almost contacts there.
No, not a place to go side by side. Oh, that was, I knew that was going to happen. He should have done that. I knew that was going to happen.
He just forced it. He forced to go side by side. I mean, it can work, but maybe not forcing it as the move wasn't done. As John Polainen, one of the CPI members, just drives past there. So that's very unlucky for the CPI crew. But QVR crew are definitely looking strong here in the midfield pack. Definitely looking to score some points. But Bruno is definitely going to have to start defending off FRR Luke very soon.
QVR Verstappen will be proud of his drivers. Then I think second is Carsberry. He's in TTG, isn't he? Carsberry is in TTG, and I probably take it that the guys that haven't got a name, Cookie Games, I think he might be in TTG. No. John Polainen might be. No, he's not. He's a CPI. He's John Polainen.
Cookie Games is QVR.
Yeah. So I think Carsberry might be the only driver in TTG because Bruno is CPR. No, CPR. QVR. Sorry. Sneaky and Backies are CPR as well. QVR, sorry. And look at Backy then, he's close to his teammate, but he doesn't go down the inside too far back to make a move into turn 1 then. Connor's defending from John Polainen behind him. John Polainen went from mediums to softs. As I think Connor gets ahead of John Polainen. He was behind him when he made that spin. And now he's back ahead of him, up into 15th place. 12th place, sorry. As Lewis gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings then. So Chapelele then. That undercut has worked. Pitting on lap 3 has got him ahead of first, second and third. Carsberry, Bullet Boy, Ginger.
No one would have thought the undercut would have, but IGK and QVR definitely have an almighty battle in the midfield pack, all the way from QVR sneaky down to basically where Jumper Lining is. It's definitely going to be looking like an action-packed battle for the rest of this race here, as these guys are all within a couple of tenths of each other here, and FRL Luke is trying to close down that gap to Bruno here, as Bruno's trying to close down to Ginger, but Bullet Boy has found the 10th this lap to Carsberry, so maybe Bullet Boy may be looking to get an overtake going into turn 1. So we're going to be keeping a lookout on that, as Bullet Boy just coming around the final corner. Car number 49.
Sneaky has dropped outside the 1 second range of Luke, so looks like Ayamotti then will be easy pickings, because he will overtake him before we get to the corner. Then easy overtake from Ayamotti, and he's up into 7th place.
Ayamotti has had a fantastic race from validating the lap, starting towards the back of the pack. On mediums, he's chose to go for the reverse strategy, and he's now on the softs, and he's now pushing to score some spectacular points. So maybe Ayamotti can make this work for IGK.
IGK went in then hoping to score points for his team. He's down in 11th place. He's just behind Baki. The two QVR drivers, as you can see ahead of us, in 10th and 8th is the QVR, and Bullet Boy's overtaking Carsberry. Has Carsberry made a mistake, or what's happened? Because you don't usually overtake there, do you?
I'm not sure, but looks like Carsberry did use the overtake button to try push his way back up in front of Bullet Boy. But Bullet Boy, he does have a lot of speed in the car, but I'm not sure he's going to go down the inside and maybe be careful, and maybe he's going to push for another time. But I think he needs to start pushing very soon, as we're coming towards the later stages of the Grand Prix, and Ginger is right behind as well. So it looks like some crucial decisions are going to have to be made there. Same with Bruno, he's also catching up to the back of this pack as well. So it could be a 4-way battle for P2.
Look at Carsberry's ERS, basically drained it, and Bullet Boy's got plenty, and Ginger as well has got plenty of ERS to play with, except Carsberry. He's going to have to do some mega defending on the straight, which I don't think he can do. He might be vulnerable on the straight, but he's pulling away, you can see, he was using the ERS button, but he can't no more because he will run out of it. Will Bullet Boy make a move? Nope, too far back. What about turn 4 then? And they're all too far back from each other to make a move into turn 1. IGK Wentig still behind Baki. Lewis still part of the pressure, Sneaky there in 8th place. My eyesight really is bad, even though I'm close to the TV.
Chapelele receiving a 3-second time penalty, and that can be real crucial here. It's a 2.4 second gap between him and Carsberry, so Chapelele is really going to have to get a move on if he wants to keep this win for FRL. I
believe he's got a 6-second time penalty, because I remember Chapelele receiving Connor and Wenting going at it. I think, did he try it down the inside? It's an odd place to overtake yet again, so Connor must have been very close behind Wenting, or did Wenting make a mistake? Who knows? But yeah, Chapelele has got a 6-second time penalty, because I saw one earlier and you mentioned he got another one, so he needs to create a big gap over 2nd place, otherwise he's losing this race.
It definitely looks like the win may not be with Chapelele at Bahrain, but it's definitely looking like the pack is now starting to spread out. We have Chapelele leading the race on his own. You have Carsberry and I believe IGK Ayamotti at the back of this pack. And IGK Ayamotti is definitely looking like the favourite here, as he is on the softs, and he is side by side with Luke. And these softs are just monstrous. These softs are absolutely on fire, as he's pulled his car over to the right, up into P6, and he's going to be pushing to get past Bruno and maybe try Ginger, as he's on the lap before the penultimate.
Ayamotti, Lewis versus Baki, then going side by side to turn 1 and turn 2. They're still side by side, coming through turn 3 and turn 4. As we head down into turn 4, then who gets ahead? The green car on the left or right hand side, as Baki gets ahead of Lewis then. That's a good fight down in turn 1 and turn 2. Saw that from the back of Sneaky's camera angle. Look at that. Look at the DRS train from 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, as Lewis has got past Baki again. And Lewis is up into 9th place out of Baki. I mean, Wenting hits the back of him, sends him to a half spin, but he saves it. And look at Connor taking advantage of them both. Connor going around the outside of both of them has overtaken Baki and Wenting, but would Baki send it down the inside of Connor? Yes, he will. We are banging from both of them as Connor gets ahead of Baki. Then Connor doing an amazing recovery despite his spin earlier on.
He's up to the points.
Exactly. He's done a good job despite his spin.
Yep. Keep your eye out for IGK. Ayamotti doing IGK probably. He's currently in the highest position for IGK and he's on the softs. And just checking on his ERS, he doesn't have that much here compared to Bruno, but he is on the softs. But it looks like the ERS is more crucial.
Bullet Boy gonna go down the inside of Carsberry, down into turn when he goes, pushes Carsberry out wide. Ginger will try and take advantage of them both. They go side by side, but not enough room for Ginger to stay on track as Carsberry maintains third place then, stays ahead of Ginger, but can Ginger try to go down the inside? Nope. Carsberry struggling to save ERS as Backy versus Wenty versus Lewis, and I believe Lewis has lost the place to Jumper Line and Geordie. What happened to Lewis? He went from what? P9 to P14? Must have made a mistake or must have got pushed out wide down at turn 3. And he's all the way down in 14th place, so something's happened to them. Pushes Wenty into 11th place.
And Chapelele has just been leading this race ever since he came out from the pits from that 3. Looks like he just had a very strong race, but the race is definitely not ended for the drivers behind him, as it's definitely looking like it's going to be an exciting final lap here at the Bahrain Grand Prix.
Bullet Boy, can he reduce that gap down depending on how many penalties he's got compared to Chapelele? Jumper Line has been overtaken by FRL Geordie. As we come on to the last lap, who will take second place? Will it be Carsberry? Will it be Bullet Boy? Or will it be Ginger? Or could it be anyone from 5th, 6th, 7th? They're all in that DRS train then. Exiting the final corner. Carsberry doesn't have ERS, but he does have DRS. What about Ginger though? He has the ERS, but can he try and overtake Carsberry? Try and put some pressure on Bullet Boy. It goes down the inside, it's turn 1. And the side by side coming out of it. Carsberry has the inside line for turn 2, cuts it. He'll probably get a warning for that one. And Ginger gets a better exit coming out of turn 2. Then he's alongside Carsberry, headed down into turn 4. Then Ginger needs to get this done. Has he got it done? Carsberry can stick it around the outside. No, he can't, as Ginger takes third place, but they make contact. Front and rear connect with each other, but Ginger stays on the track and he stays in third place as well. Connor versus Sneaky, they go side by side where Connor spun, ironically, but this time he makes it out in one piece. This is the battle for 8th place, I believe. Sneaky then gets a better exit than Connor. And Connor goes down the inside, wheel banging from the 2. This will allow Wenting to get closer and Backy. QVR versus CPI for the last points position. And Connor, I dare say, will take 8th place away from Sneaky. But this is gonna go down to the line. I can't wait to see how this pans out.
Yeah.
Oh, they both make contact. And there is your race winner then. Chapelele will come across the line, but it is pending because we don't know how many penalties he's got. Bullet Boy will come across the line to win the Bahrain Grand Prix.
Chapelele falls down to P7. He got overtaken by all of the drivers, but it's definitely shaken up everything as side-by-side finishes towards the back of the pack. But Bullet Boy taking the win of today's event at Bahrain.
Bullet Boy, what an amazing drive for him. He got overcutted, sorry, by Carsberry, and I believe he stayed ahead of Cookie Games, so well managed from Bullet Boy. So good drive from Bullet Boy, and Ian Motti did a fantastic job as well, despite starting down in 14, 15 or 16, can't remember which one it was, but Bullet Boy finally getting a good result, which he needs, and Bullet Boy can celebrate with that one. Look at those, look at that suit. Looks like he sprayed paint on him.
Well, it's been a great race at Bahrain. Bullet Boy looks like he just kept his cool there. Maybe he didn't want to push to Chapelele because maybe he realised Chapelele had penalties. But overall, he's won the Grand Prix, and Ginger will take the P2 after that late move on Carsberry. But Carsberry, he will take P3, take the final step of the podium. But CPI, your top team on the podium step today.
Bullet Boy had to get that move done, otherwise he would not won the race. But Carsberry defended as much as he could, but in the end, Bullet Boy and Ginger beat him. As Chapelele then, commiserations to him after receiving 6-second time penalties. That's how small the gap was, because look, 1st to 6th with a DRS train, and Wenting takes the final points position there for IGK. He's been spending most of his time in P11, but he finally gets that point that he wanted. Connor did an amazing recovery drive despite spinning. That was a racing incident, I believe, from those two. So Connor, from what, 14th to 8th in a massive laps, did an amazing job.
I do believe we may have one more race to finish off this FRL event here, but it has been a superb start to the event that we've been hosting tonight. Yep, Belgium.
What a place, Belgium Grand Prix. What a place to finish an esports race off.
This FRL event here.
Right then, so let's see if Sway can get a decent result then after he retired at the Bahrain Grand Prix. Sorry, that took long, I was thinking. So Bullet Boy then scored 25 points for QVR, no CPI, sorry, I don't know why I got that confused. So the CPI drivers will take 28 points away, 29 points then, on their tally. They will stay in their positions, but the only thing they'll improve is their points tally. They won't get ahead of anyone in terms of positions. And who else is in QVR? I don't know, Backy, CPI, sorry, I don't know why I get so confused.
CPR Bullet Boy definitely happy in the comments saying let's go, it feels good. So maybe he can pull off another win and maybe that'll feel twice as good here, as maybe he could try and get more points for the CPI team.
It's impossible for CPI to overtake FRL. They're too far away unfortunately, but they can score some decent points at this last race. FRL, Ginger finished in 2nd place, Luke finished in 6th and Chapelele will finish in 7th. TTG is Carsberry, I don't know what team Bruno's in. So I think FRL scored some decent points here and getting closer and closer to TTG. QVR too far away from IGK. So it looks like IGK will have this in the bag then. Hello Nova, how are you mate? This is the last race then, the Belgian Grand Prix, and I can't wait to see how it turns out.
Yeah, definitely. After seeing what qualifying was like here today at Bahrain, it's definitely going to be close at Belgium, especially with Belgium, a lot of twists and a lot of turns and a lot of straights as well. So it's full of mixes, full of surprises, so maybe we can see a new pole sitter and a lot more close times.
We're just waiting to load in. Can CPI win 2nd race in a row, or can Ginger closing the gap? And Carsberry as well. Carsberry's got some decent pace as the finishman, the flying finishman, doing an amazing job at the Bahrain Grand Prix. Let's hope he can continue to Belgium. Right then, the last race of the FRL Esports will end in Belgium. Who will win the last race of the season then? I won't call it a season, but who will win the last race of the esports? Yeah, who do you think is going to win the last race of the event?
Don't know, I mean it's looking close. Chapelele definitely looking strong there, but unfortunately due to penalties, you know. But Bahrain, Belgium, 2 different tracks, so we could be seeing pace from people that were part of the back markers or the midfield team here. But we're definitely going to see, we're just waiting for a couple of drivers to ready up as CPR Bullet Boy. Yeah, we're definitely getting ready as they're now starting their lap, coming into turn 1.
Braking at the 100-meter board then, bring it in. It took it through the 3rd gear there. I thought you'd bring it down to 2nd or 1st, but I don't know what gear you should take it in first quarter then. As we come through Eau Rouge and Radion, flat out through Eau Rouge and Radion, no need to lift off in these cars. As we come on to the Kemmel Straight, I believe it's the Kemmel Straight, not quite sure. Approaching 207 miles per hour, 330 kilometers, coming into Lacombe. Slight lock up from Carsberry, kissing the apex on each corner as we approach this downhill right-hander. It does have a name. It's Rivage, isn't it?
The Brussels.
The Brussels? I thought it was Rivage, or is that the other one? Coming through no name then. As we come through Pouillon. And Carsberry almost loses the back end to Pouillon. I think he touched the apex as Ginger and Lewis has retired from the session then. It looks like the battle
from last race.
Oh yeah, he did he? Well, Lewis did anyways, but Ginger didn't. So Ginger's got a lot of work to do on his hands. Coming through Stabilo for Carsberry.
Coming into Paul Fair.
As come through, launch him on the next corner. Keep off that curb. The bus stop chicane is the next one. Breaking up the 100 metre board then. He took a lot of curb, and that's an invalidation for Carsberry, so he'll be started down.
I mean, Indigo, I must say, as Chapelele does not get pole, Cookie gets on the line. Remember, Cookie, he wasn't really in the talks in the final stages of the race. I mean, he got pole, and he just had the incident, but that looked about it for the race with him in Belgium. He once again gets a second pole of this event today. Chapelele 200 of a second behind him, and this time we see a lot more invalidations from P10 to P16, and they involve Carsberry, Swavey, Luke, Wentink, Ginger, Bullet Boy, and Lewis. So these guys are gonna have to try to work around the back as well, and Connor trying to settle up on the mediums in P9, just a couple of attempts off Jumper Lane. So they both CPI drivers as well. But Cookie, he's getting a second and the final pole of today's event. Can Chapelele get another one out of the bag, but this time with no penalties?
I've seen, yeah, I was interested in Connor's strategy starting on the medium tyres then. So let's see how his strategy works. And he's the only one in the top 10 that's on the medium tyres as well. So I hope he's surrounded by some guys on the softs. But people outside the top 10, I think they'll start on the mediums as well. Some people didn't, some people did. So we'll find out as we enter the lobby then.
Yes, this is going to be the final race of the event, and I'm sure this is going to be the best race of the event of the two races we've had today. It's definitely looking a lot more closer, especially with the front row, definitely close between QVR and the FRL driver. So yeah, it's definitely looking close. So we have 11 laps here, so it's a shorter amount of laps due to how big the Spa track is. So it's going to
11 laps around here.
Yeah, a lot. I think this is going to be a lot more exciting race, you know, and especially with the pits as well. You know, this is a tough pit lane to enter. You know, you may be able to get on the acceleration too early and maybe hit your wing coming into the entrance of the pit lane. So it's going to be hard, but I haven't noticed, but all QVR drivers start on the left side of the grid.
Oh yeah, so first, third, fifth, seventh. So all QVR drivers in the top 8 then, which is a good sign. QVR doing a good job so far in this last two races.
I mean, you're not wrong, you know, and this is why QVR has scored quite a lot of points during this event. That's why QVR has 223 points to their name before coming into Bahrain. This is why they're close to IGK, but I think over the course of Bahrain and definitely over the course of qualifying around Belgium, these guys have looked way more consistent. So if they can keep this one in the bag and tackle Ayamotti, then maybe they can have a chance at taking the victory here at the mini events.
Look at that, second FRL Chapelele surrounded by QVR drivers then, first and third. Geordie up into 4th place as well. Not seen Geordie up in the top 5, well in the top 10 mostly, no offence to him, but Geordie seems to be outside the top 10 quite a lot of times, recent times, but finds himself in 4th place, so let's see what he could do, and let's see if he can score points.
I mean, he did invalidate in the Bahrain race, and he wasn't really up there. We wasn't been talking about him much. But putting his car on the second row of the grid, just behind, he's going to be directly behind his, you could say, teammate of Chapelele. So it's definitely going to be a challenge, and Geordie may be able to put his car in the battle for podium position, or maybe even a race win. So this is Geordie's time to shine.
It is indeed. He's the second closest. He's the second highest driver for FRL. Chapelele there is second place as well. So let's see how they do.
Yes, definitely going to be a close race. Ayamotti starts P6, so he's going to be the highest qualifying driver out of the IGK members. And talking of him, he's actually been disqualified from the formation up with QVR Sneaky, but these guys are having down Blanchimont, and these guys are going to be doing 11 laps around the Spa circuit here at Belgium. Oh, it's going to be a great race. I feel like this one's going to be a lot better, but these drivers are now coming towards the final couple of corners into the bus stop chicane. So as we see, Cookie, Chapelele, Bakis, Geordie, Bruno, Jumper Lane, and Connor, Carsberry, Swavey, Luke, Wentic, Ginger, Bullet Boy, and Lewis, all coming across the final corner. We're here, Canadian to go. But we're getting ready for lights out here at the FRL event. As you see, the drivers are now getting ready. 5 lights are now coming on with the drivers, and they're ready in their engines. The lights are out, and away we go. Cookie gets off to a great start here, but stay with Chapelele as he's already side by side of him coming into turn 1, but Cookie's got the inside, so he's just going to have to fend off there. And we got a QVR driver going down the inside of Jordy, and all the drivers side by side as they now kind of come up to Relion and Eau Rouge, and we can see some of the CPI drivers getting off to a good start. We see Bullet Boy as well trying to force his way through the field there in P12, and he's going side by side with the IGK Wensing through Eau Rouge, but currently FRR Chapelele and Jordy getting off to a great start as Cookie's trying to break the slipstream here, coming to the end of Sector 1 Indigo.
Yeah, I just noticed that Jordy and Baki tried to go side by side, but Baki had to back out of it, otherwise they'll make contact with Jordy. So Jordy's made up 1 place. That's a good start for him. They went side by side to turn 1, turn 2 and turn 3. So Jordy making up ground. The first part of the race there, Baki had to back out as Carsberry makes a move on Connor into Rivage. So doing no name, Connor has to back out of it because he's coming through a tight acute angle, and he's got someone alongside him. That is Wentink. Wentink taking advantage through P1. You don't really see side by side action through P1, but Wentink takes advantage and he's up into 10th place ahead of Connor.
Yes, and these guys are going 3 wide here, and Connor's just going to keep his head clean and stick through it, but he's on the medium, so he is going to be slower at this point, and he's holding off Ginger and IGK Lewis here. Bullet Boy just keeping up behind them.
Connor seems like he's getting swamped as Ginger almost loses it there through traction, and now he's got Jay Lewis overtaking him. And it's about to overtake Connor as well, so it looks like Connor is struggling because he's lost quite a few places at the start of the race. Looks like he's about to lose another one, but Lewis has run out of EOS. Will he go down the inside? Yes, he is, coming through the bus stop chicane, as now he has the inside line for the bus stop chicane. Shoves him outside, shoves him, he gives him no room whatsoever. Comes back into the tracks though, and they're 3 wide coming out of the track.
Oh my god, and Ginger just swept past them.
Whoa,
and Ginger's into the lead.
What is that? What is that? That is I have no words for that one, but that's, oh dear me, what is Connor, what are they doing?
So Connor looks like he's not really liking the way Lewis was trying to attack, but I had no problem with Lewis's attacking there.
Lewis had every right to do so. Connor just didn't give any room.
Well, either way, it's given Bullet Boy the right to move up the grid, and he does have Ginger and Connor behind him with Swavey. Swavey just keeping his loads clean and not trying to get involved with the battle in front, maybe hoping for a mistake to happen and move up the grid. But Cookie leads from Chapelele, and Jordy still keeping tags with his teammate. Baki's still behind him, but we do have Motti here, who's also keeping to the back as well.
So what I saw from that last 2 corners, Lewis tried to go down the inside. Had to go around the outside, but Connor pushed him off. Then on that short straight, they were side by side down the straight. Ginger overtook him, overtook them both. Then for some reason Connor tried to go down the inside, even though he had a car on his inside. So that'll be investigated after the race.
I think Ginger already got past the driver, so Ginger was well ahead. Connor, I think he did realise Lewis was down his inside and just decided to leave no room there. So that's unlucky for Lewis. Maybe pray for his safety. I'm just going to check if safety car's on.
Chapelele, will he go down the inside? Oh, no he doesn't. Yes, safety car is off. As Chapelele then, doing his old same magic trick from what he did last race.
He's trying his tactical finisher here. Maybe this can put him back in the lead here, but this time I'm hoping for no penalties. Jordy's saying the fastest lap of the Grand Prix, so maybe he's looking to push to come maybe into the pits this lap as well here, or maybe close down the gap to Cookie Games as it is in 1 second and DRS is enabled this lap, so Jordy may be looking to have a battle with Cookie for the win here, because he is going to have DRS here. I am Motti just over a second behind Jordy with DRS, so he is going to be closing that gap.
Never
to
mind
Cookie
that,
Games,
mate. Look at Carsberry versus Wentink. And safe to say Wentink is well ahead of Carsberry. Got more straight line speed than Carsberry. Yep,
Carsberry. The fastest driver currently on the mediums, he's the highest driver on the medium, and he is battling with soft runners. So Carsberry trying the Ayamochi strategy here, but he's actually hit the back of Wentink.
So Jordy and Cookie got a 3-second time penalty in the exact same place, I reckon. Do no name. So they've
no name.
already got a penalty on lap 3, so they just need to be careful with the warnings they're receiving.
Chapelele, like he's already on. You could say he's kind of on the back of this battle. He's just gone through no name, and he is just a couple seconds behind the FRL Luke here, and he is 17 seconds behind Cookie Games here. So it is going to be close to see what Chapelele can do.
Carsberry went over the curb and almost lost the rear end, but managed to save it, and he's lost quite a bit of time to Wentink, and Wentink's already caught up to Jumperlinen, and he's in the 1 second DRS range of Jumperlinen as well. So much better race this time out for Wentink. He finished 10th in the Bahrain Grand Prix, but now he's up into 6th place and looking to make some more moves.
Cookie and Jordy into the pits, so they're both trying a Chapelele strategy here. They're both into the pits, and you never know, it could be a double stack here. But Georgie there's into the pits, no double stacking today, but he could be getting held up from the drivers in front. But this could maybe Chapelele could be getting, no, not Chapelele, Cookie Games. So we're going to just see Cookie Games just getting ahead of Ginger, but Chapelele lead coming into turn 1, I believe, yep, he's definitely got it, and he's up into P1, so his master strategy
yes, he has
worked.
Yet again, he did the exact same thing in the Bahrain Grand Prix, but Cookie Games is in the slipstream, so we can stay intact with him. Chapelele and dragging along Geordie as well.
So I mean, like, Chapelele's strategy worked, but it didn't work as good as it did last time, as we see yellow flags, and that's Luke, I think, having a problem with his car. I think, yeah, he's lost his right end plate, so he's going to be struggling that car back to the pits here. Carsberry still 3rd on their mediums, and he is going to be defending off both CPI drivers of Connor and Bullet, but I do believe these guys are slipstreaming their way through. But Chapelele, this time, he's not going to have a solo race to the end. He's going to have a battle on his hand. He has got Geordie, Cookie Games behind him, just behind them by a short margin is Backies.
CPI Connors, look at that, look how much he's gained on Carsberry. He's 3/10 behind. It looks like Carsberry's struggling a bit. I've seen Carsberry make a few mistakes, so Carsberry just needs to keep it focused and try and keep Connor behind him.
Yes, definitely indeed. Luke getting a 3-second penalty, but he's not really in the talks of getting some points. He does have wing damage here, but the battle for P3 could commence very soon here. But same with the battle for P6 as well, because these guys are basically battling for the win here. Says Chapelele having the net lead. Jumperlinen and Ayamotti into the pits. Ayamotti having a short gap to Jumperlinen. So Ayamotti, remember, he was in battling for the he was like in this sorry, I'm not getting my words out. He was battling for the win here. He was in P5, so but he's definitely been jumped by Chapelele and Cookie and Geordie, and looks like Ayamoti's just gonna have to settle behind Backies, or maybe not here, because Ayamotti just getting past Geordie's just getting past in there, but Ayamotti on the back of Geordie, he could be looking at
Connor, look at the overspeed, battle for P1, the overspeed he had on Carsberry. He gets ahead before Lecom, and he's up into 1st place ahead of Carsberry's Bullet Boy's there as well. So it looks like Carsberry's struggling quite a bit because he's got Bullet Boy right behind him. Bullet Boy making some good progress despite where he started earlier on.
Definitely. So it definitely looks like these guys can be battling for the rest of the race here, as it's really close between these drivers. Cookie Boy, he is about 10 seconds behind it, and we haven't actually mentioned Cookie Boy's got past Chapelele here, so Chapelele's strategy hasn't really gone to plan here. Cookie Boy's going to be starting to push to get this win for QVR, and looks like Chapelele is going to have to start defending of Ayamotti, because Ayamotti is also past Geordie here, but focusing on this battle for P1, it is real close. The whole grid is real close here. I mean, like, everyone's just real close, showing some great pace.
I think when the top two are fighting, I think that's when Cookie Games made the move on Chapelele. We didn't see it, did we? Look at the wobbly exit from Cookie Games as it enters Stabilo. Cookie Games getting a bit out of shape, but managed to save the car as Wentink picks up a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings.
But remember, this time around, Cookie has the 3-second penalty. Remember, him and Geordie picked one off. Going through no name here as Bullet Boy and Carsberry into the pits.
Yep, both entered the pits together, so that leaves Connor with a bit of fresh air, and he will come into the pits soon to protect the undercut from Carsberry and Bullet Boy then. So Cookie Games is our next race leader as Lewis is retired from the session. Didn't have much in it, so Lewis had another bad race, unfortunately for him. Chapelele is in the DRS range of Cookie Games, so we're about to see a battle here for 2nd place. And Bullet Boy and who's the other one? Bullet Boy and Carsberry joined that in 12th and 13th, and they've got 5 laps to make up some ground from there. As Chapelele then too far away to make any move on Cookie Games. Carsberry, look at that, who's that? That's that Bullet Boy versus Carsberry coming into Le Cobb. Bullet Boy gets ahead of Carsberry for 12th place. He was trying to do that move for such a long time on that medium stint, but finally, as quick as possible out of the pits, he managed to make the move. Carsberry, don't go down the inside there, mate. Too far away.
Just to mention, 5 drivers battling for the win from Cookie Games all the way down to Backies, but none of these drivers really have that much ERS from Backies with 6%, so maybe he could be an underdog coming towards the last stages of this race.
Connor needs to pit as soon as possible then to change onto the soft tyres, otherwise he finds himself rejoining behind Carsberry, possibly Sway. Sway's 3 seconds further back from Carsberry. And it's going to be a very good battle. Oh, Carsberry's 3 second time penalty. This could be a very good battle for the lead of the race, like you said, Jerome.
Yeah, definitely.
Looks like Cookie Games look like he's struggling to save EOS. His Cookie Games, that's crucial.
Yeah, but look at Bullet Boy all over the back of Ginger here. And I'm sure he's going to be one they can move over into the soft chicane. He's having lots of speed and not using the ERS. Is he going to go down the inside? But he's just going to have to back off then keep Ginger with the position of P11. But remember, Bullet Boy will have DRS coming into turbo, and he's going to have DRS going up. Radiant and Erosion. Jean, was that? Connors into the pit, so Connor is going to be getting into this battle as well, so we're going to see a nice cheeky little battle for P10 here.
He was in first place before he made his stop, like I said. Oh, in fact he rejoins the Bullet Boy, or behind him. In fact, in the middle of them. Look at the battle for 10th place, look at that. Bullet Boy pulls out of Ginger's slipstream.
And look at Connor with mad DRS, it's 3 wide going into the I don't even recall the name, but Connor is up into P10.
Wow. As Bullet Boy makes a mistake, as Ginger tries to take advantage of it, but Bullet Boy has the outside line, but Ginger has the inside line for the next corner. Will he try and push him out wide? Yes, he does. Can he hang in there, Bullet Boy?
Carsberry just sniffing his nose and trying to see if he can make a move there, because he's carrying so much pace and there might be 3 wide again coming into this corner.
No, don't make it 3 wide. What are you doing? Don't make it 3 wide. Jesus, battle sake, he made his feet. Bullet Boy loses it.
Oh!
He spun.
No! Oh no! Oh my god, that was shaping up to be probably the battle of the event. I was really getting on my toes there. That was really a brilliant battle. Because not really much battling going on at the front apart from ERS usage, but I definitely want to pay focus to this battle. He's jumping in and could be getting involved very soon as Connor is finding super pace, and he's closing down to this battle for P6.
Connor had loads of EOS because he just came out of the pits. He just flew past him, didn't he, Jerome?
Yeah, just flew past him. Like this one, I mean, some people haven't been really treating their ERS as well as they can do. I mean, some of them are having 20%, but Connor coming up the pits as well. When you come up the pits, you have an advantage of gaining more ERS in the pits. He had 60%, and he used that to his advantage just to get the perfect move done.
He's got a penalty through cutting Eau Rouge quite clearly, and he's all over the back of Cookie Games. Cookie Games,
you know what?
Running out of EOS. So is Chapelele. They go side by side.
You know what? Iamotti, I don't think he has a penalty. Chapelele taking the lead of the Grand Prix. I don't think Iamotti has a penalty. So Iamotti, if he can just keep within touches of P1 and P2, we could be seeing our second race winner today.
Wenting defending from Bruno. I think Wenting lost a place to Sneaky, so Sneaky's up into 6th place. As Wenting drops into 7th, and he needs to keep an eye out for the other QVR driver, or Bruno down in 8th place.
Connor's already caught up to the back of this pack as well. Looks like Team Radio was going on as jumping lane and probably let CPR Connor through his
Cookie spawn.
Cookie again having issues once again in the Grand Prix, maybe making contact with Chapelele there.
Down the inside goes Connor. Down the inside goes Connor. Sneaking out place. You see overtaking. It's going to be so close. Gets on the curb. Almost loses the back end. And he has to back out of that one. Who's that? That's Ginger, isn't it? Ginger. Oh, that's John Paladin, sorry. John Paladin making contact with Bruno through Stablo. And Bruno gets ahead of John Paladin. This is intense,
Do you know
mate.
what?
This is intense.
I'm lost for words, man. I'm telling you, this is much better than the Bahrain Grand Prix. Everyone is so tight together, and Connor is definitely looking to push his way through the field and having a battle, definitely for P5 here, because he is on the softs, and the pace he's carrying with him is absolutely mental.
Oh dear, I've got a spinner. That's probably Bullet Boy or Luke, as Cookie's overtaken John Polanen. Got Carsberry to deal with. Carsberry's on the soft. Go down the inside.
Connor's gone down the inside also. He's gone down the inside of Wensink, and these guys are going to go side by side. Looks like Wensink's just going to back off there. Connor does look a bit impatient here, as he's sometimes going for moves which are not there, but forcing his way through. But nonetheless, Con carrying so much speed here. P6 after one corner, P5 after two corners, and he's up into P5. I mean, you know what? We could be seeing Connor getting the podium here, because he is within, you know what? If Connor can somehow get in front of Ayamotti, then Connor will get the win. He's currently looking at P3.
Diving down the inside, he pushes Jumper Line out wide, and Carlsberry makes the move. Oh, I don't know, that's probably a bit too harsh from Carlsberry. Just dive down the inside of Jumper Line and yeah, Jumper Line outside the top 10.
Bullet Boy heading into the pits, and I'm not sure if that's for a retirement or the fastest stuff of the Grand Prix, but he just got a fast like a penalty for speeding in the pit lane. But I'm sure, yeah, he's retired. But just message to the drivers, I'm sure none of you can't be disappointed with the racing. You're showing you're all good, clean and fast drivers, and just keep representing races like this, and I'm sure you're going to get a lot of attention to your esports team. It's been an amazing race to commentate on, and I'm sure Indigo would agree.
Yep, I would agree. Some dodgy racing here and there, but overall it's been decent. As Ayamotti is close to the back of Chapelele there. Look at him all climbing all over the back of him. Almost hits him in the final corner as well. Just give him a bit of a push through the final corner. Tell him he's there. Lap 10 out of 11, then 2 laps to go. Oh, look at the exit from Sneaky there, and he's got, look at Wedstick all over the back of him. Message
really pushing.
Message to Tyler then, don't give up, mate. I know you're a quick driver, you've got loads of potential in you. Bullet Boy's left the session, that is Bullet Boy.
Connor's really pushing it. I think he really wants to get this podium, and I'm sure Ayamotti really wants to get this win. He's not using his DRS, so he must have a problem. He must have a fault in his car system here, which might be a massive
damage is off in it. No, it's not. I mean, safety car's off, sorry. So if he's got a DRS failure, that is bad news. As look at Wenty, there just flies past QBR Sneaky and moves up into 6th place. So IGK Wentic scores some decent points for his team, as meanwhile we'll continue. If his DRS is broken, where's the best place to overtake?
Well, I mean, I think the best. Well, it's not really a best place to overtake apart from using your ERS here, as he just has a just about the same as Chapelele. But I'm sure he'll probably stick behind his. We know Chapelele and Jordi have penalties here, and from Jordi having penalties, that will promote Connor up into P4 and maybe into P3 with the gap with him and Chapelele here. So it is going to be close. Connor is really pushing us with some set the fastest lap of the last of the Grand Prix last lap. So it's definitely going to be a very close finish.
Ayamotti seems like he got better cornering speed than Chapelele. Takes the corners much better than Chapelele, hence why he's closing all over the back of him in the corners. It looks like Chapelele's got some decent straight line speed just to keep ahead of Ayamotti, but I really hope his DRS fixes for his sake as he's coming up for the next lap. Has he got it fixed? He's going to use it?
Look how back he's all over.
Yes, he is.
Becky's and Georgie and Connor are now slowly starting to catch up. The final lap of the Grand Prix here, this is where everything is starting to go down here. And Becky's and Ayamotti, these guys don't have penalties here, so Ayamotti is defending off Becky's and possibly defending off for the P1 position here. IGK versus QVR versus FRL and versus CPI. 3
different esports teams fighting for the top 3. IGK, QVR and FRL. Who's going to be out top? Baki then. Looks like he's going to make a move down the inside, but he goes for the defensive Ayamotti. He's going to try and run the outside. No, he can't, as Ayamotti stays in 2nd place. Sneaky on Wenting, too far back. And Ginger on Jumpalainen. And Ginger swoops around the outside of Jumpalainen unless he can keep it, but he can't. Slight contact is made, but Ginger gets ahead of Jumpalainen.
You could be seeing Connor making a late move on Geordie for P4, and that may be able to promote him up into P3. From the penalties with Chapelele, but I'm sure Bakis is going to be wanting to use all his ERS to try and get past Ayamotti here. But it's the final lap of the Grand Prix. We're just closing down. We're just winding down everything. We're coming through the final couple of corners. Chapelele, he's had a fine race here, but it's not going to be as fine as it is because he has gained another penalty here, but I'm not sure that's going to see him taking a top step here, and the rest of the field behind just keeping tabs with everyone. Some lockups here and there, but it's definitely going to be going down to penalties as the gap has kind of spread out with the drivers, but it hasn't spread out with Bullet, with
Look at
Geordie.
There might be a last lap move. Geordie versus Connor as we come through the bus stop chicane. He goes up around the outside. Can he go around the outside? Yes, he can. Connor.
And he's up into P4. And Chapelele takes the virtual win, or you could say provisional win. Ayamotti wins. Connor P2. Backy's into P3.
That's mad.
Backy's in P4. Jordan P5. So Chapelele, he holds on to P3, but he was so close to P2. 9 milliseconds off P2. So Connor was really pushing on that final lap. I do believe that bus stop chicane move on Jordy must have paid off. So he definitely picked up some good points from CPI. CPI getting a P1 and a P2 at Bahrain and Belgium, so I'm sure they can be proud of that. But overall, IGK, Ayamotti winning for the IGK team, and I'm sure that's going to confirm them winning this mini event championship.
Connor is my driver of the day.
I mean, after having such, not the best of starts, him making contact with Lewis, making Lewis retire from the race, Connor coming back on them softs, coming back onto them softs. I mean, like, he did show clean racing from there on, and he's going to be my driver of the day. He's also the in-game driver of the day as well.
Yep, so the game agrees with me on driver of the day then. And there's your race winner, and that is, who just won the race? Oh yeah, Ayamotti. Yeah. Ayamotti just won the race ahead of who won second place?
Second place was who was second place? It was Connor. Connor collected P2, 9 milliseconds in front of Chapelele. So Chapelele, he still clings onto a podium here. So he was lucky. Backies must have just got a penalty in the final stages of the race there. But overall, Ayamotti wins your Belgium Grand Prix ahead of Connor, Chapelele, Backies, Jordy, Bruno, Wenting, Cookie Games after a very disappointing race and having a bit of a mishap going into the long left-hander. Jean-Paul in P9 and QVR Sneaky finishes off everything in the top 10. Ginger, Carsberry, Swaggy, FRL Luke are the rest of the remaining finishing drivers in the classification. Bullet Boy and Lewis, retirement of the Belgian Grand Prix. We thank you guys for joining us into the stream, and we thank every driver here taking part in this eSport event. It's been a pleasure to commentate here, and it's been a pleasure to commentate with you also, Lewis.
Yeah, same here, mate. And I'm glad I can bring you along to this last race of the season.
Definitely. Wasn't really feeling that at the start, but definitely after the Bahrain Grand Prix, I was definitely looking forward to see the superb battles we definitely saw out there on track. And I'm sure this is going to be the first of many battles from these eSport drivers. They definitely have the potential to be right up there. So hopefully, if they can set up another event like this again, I'm definitely going to be down to do it.
I'm just off screen at the moment, so the stream won't hear me, so just bear with me for a few seconds. It's pretty good to you. CPI Connor, maybe, and Chapelele. Can you vote Chapelele and Connor? If they don't join, it's fine because I didn't really plan it. I can't invite them because yeah.
I need you just to help me spell Chapelele because I know it's got
Lee.
Cool. So FRL shape
Lee with one E.
Shape Lee. Oh, I got it. Inviting them now, so hopefully they join. But yeah, it's a great race. It's just yeah.
Also, I want to thank another person, which is Ginger, because Ginger set this whole thing up, and yeah, I wouldn't have done it myself. I can't be bothered to set things up like this. So thank you, Ginger, for setting this esports thing up between QVR, CPI, TTG.
Ginger. You set up this great event with 5 awesome eSport teams, and looks like FRL wasn't the team who won, unfortunately. IGK looked like they got on top of it, but maybe FRL can come back stronger in the next eSport event they host.
Chapelele then. We'll start with you because you're in the party. So those two races, I bet you could say you'd be frustrated with that because you could have won those 2 races, but penalties dragged you down yet again.
Yeah, in Bahrain it was just under-Siri, and in Spa I tried to back Yamotti up into Becky, but it didn't work, so
those undercuts are really powerful around here, aren't they? So it put you up into first, a net lead race, and in both races. So how do you feel about
Yeah, I knew they were slower than me, so I pitted earlier and got the undercut.
that? Oh, competition there. Do you feel do you feel angry at all from losing out on penalties?
Yeah, I just feel angry at Jordy because he didn't tell me that Connor, I think, had no pens, so I backed up too much.
That's really unfortunate, Chapelet. But you've got some decent pace on you. Not gonna lie. So the one thing you can take positive away from today, you've got really good pace on you up against those esports drivers there. So that's something to be happy about, isn't it?
Yeah, thank you, mate.
Yeah, no problem. Jerome, you got any questions for Chapelet?
Not really, but yeah, you just had a great race. You know, your race pace definitely looks to be up there. Same with your qualifying pace as well. It's just unfortunate you got them time penalties, which didn't lead you to getting the win. So it's just unlucky for that, but well done.
Thank you.
That is your provisional race winner, as Jerome said. I'm going to end it from there. And we'll see you all tonight. Thank you, Jerome, for commentating me. Thanks, Chapelet, for talking with us, and we'll see you all later.
See ya.